Welcome to Big Hoss's Tailgate.
And we're live. So what's up, man? We're live with Seth Queen.
Howdy, folks. What's going on, buddy?
My favorite ginger's back. Heck yeah! In the new the new format, I guess.
It's funny to see you getting a little gray in the beard here.
I know, right? Dude. And the fact is, when they were shaving it off, there was more white falling off than red.
Oh, that's funny. I know. I'm starting to get a couple white strands here.
I feel like Samson. The whiter it gets, I'm losing my powers to drink. I'm losing my power. I don't like it. I need to start. I wanted to diet, but I was like, there's just for men for gingers. This isn't good.
You need to become the witch from Weapons and go start draining some life and get your orange hair back.
Well, it's like either you look like Scott Fargus or, you look like a punk. Like you're in a punk band.
Mm-hmm. My hairstylist was like, "Oh, I could probably redo your hair, but it would take." She's like, "I'd have to do individual strands or by strands of 3. It would take probably upwards of 6 hours." I was like, "Damn, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, it's not because they're like, "Well, if I do it, it's just gonna look weird." And you're like, I guess I'll lose my power. I'll just give up. My time was fun, I guess. Oh man, but I wanted to have you on because we've been talking movies lately. And there's been a couple modern westerns that have been I was like, I need to get your thoughts on this because this movie's just too crazy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just a little spoiler for the audience. I don't want to get too into it yet, but I love both of them. I think both of them were incredible. I think both of them are really funny in a weird way.
Yeah, I like both movies. It was just it's kind of crazy. They're both westerns, and they're both modern westerns, but they're different takes on the genre.
Not only different takes on the genre, but they both mention, I think, a lot about what's going on in society now, which Western, that's a good part of Westerns is they're talking about society then. And they take it at such different approaches that you're not watching the same movie with different opinions. You're watching two different stories in just how they play out. I don't think it's really telling you anything and just let the story tell what to think. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think a lot of directors really suck at that. They really focus on just telling you, hey, you should think this. Where I think both these stories really just give you great stories and just let you decide what to think.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, I don't know if we should just get into it right now and just get into the movies because it's I can't. What I want to say about them, I can't go into without going deep into it.
Yeah, no, go for it. I mean, hey, we're all right here.
All right, so the two movies we're talking about is One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio. Paul Thomas Anderson directed it. And the other movie is Eddington. Eddington?
Yeah, Eddington with Ari Aster. Or by Ari Aster.
Yeah, and it has Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix.
Both are really stacked casts, honestly.
Fun fact, I just watched a clip the other day on Threads. It was Joaquin Phoenix in Superboy.
I don't know if I know what Superboy is.
Superboy was this 80s show. It's from the guys who did the Superman, Christopher Reeve one. They had the rights to it. So they made an 80s TV show of Superboy. And Joaquin Phoenix had a guest starring role as a young kid that dreams he has Superboy's powers and melts a guy and stuff. But it's weird looking at Joaquin Phoenix's face.
Instead he gains the Joker's powers and drains his own face.
Dude, that movie was bad. Ugh.
Well, I like the first one. I mean, it's not great, but it was enjoyable. I think it gets a lot of flack by some people, and other people almost over say how good it is.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's middling. It tries to be a Scorsese film, and it's not a Scorsese film.
Yeah, it's okay, you just mash two Scorsese movies together and put a DC label on it.
But it's fun. It's a different take on that kind of character, seeing it from that perspective, which is fun. And I think Joaquin Phoenix is fun to watch.
They should have just left it alone, stand alone, leave it alone, and move on to the next villain.
I haven't seen the second one, but everyone said it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love musicals, but I have to be in such a good mood for musicals. I typically don't. The only musical I think I could just randomly throw on would be the Blues Brothers. It's the only one I can be oh, that one I will watch. Every other one I'm I just don't care to see it.
Well, it was kind of so and the reason we're going so much into the Joaquin on the Joker part is because of what he is in this Eddington movie. He is crazy. I was for him for most of the thing. And then he took a turn where I was all right, I can't support this. This is crazy.
Well, and it's funny, I think, because I watched it a second time recently for the podcast, and I think there's like little hints throughout it where he's like a lot crazier than he seems, but he's also not built for the Western lifestyle. Are we going to start with Eddington then? Or are we going straight into that?
Yeah,
one?
we can go straight into Eddington.
Like, I think it's very interesting, and you kind of see it in one battle after another too. These characters who are put into this life that they're not really meant to live. Like
Seth came prepared. He brought a notepad. I do not come prepared. I'm like going off of like memory and stuff, but like no, it's kind of nice because you actually have like points to bring up that things I probably won't even think of.
Well, not even just points. I also wrote down just kind of like little summaries in case you need to look at it too, like just kind of what happens. And like for instance, he's trying to get into this political race, and like there's nothing about him that really knows how to handle politics. And you just, at least on the second time viewing it, I realized like, oh, he really is like embarrassing himself the whole time.
Oh yeah, well, as soon as he wanted to go for mayor, I was like, all right, bud, you're just like okay. And then like he just kept doubling down, and it kept getting worse and worse. And I don't know if it was supposed to be a commentary on like the presidential politics or whatever. I don't know. Not trying to be political, but it kind of felt that way where it's like you just keep embarrassing yourself, man. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he probably is reflecting a little bit of our like current political situation, but I view it as just a general like, hey, he's making fun of the left and the right.
Yeah.
Like, so with Joe's character, Joaquin Phoenix's character, he is really making fun of the right, and like you said, his ignorance to a lot of what's actually happening, and people saying, like multiple times, his wife is like, "Please don't talk about me." What the incident with Ted is, Pedro Pascal's character. He's like, "Please," she's like, "Please don't. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. That's between you guys, not between me." And multiple times he does it until he eventually says it in front of everybody, like we're on this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. When he did that live stream in front of everybody, it was like, like. And then the story just gets even crazier.
Well, he's also just very bumbling because he like while he's doing that process, he's like I'm gonna say he's a predator. He's a predator. He like which I love that both movies do this because I think this is a real good reflection of real life is people who repeat stuff constantly. And his character does that so much because he's just bumbling around. He just repeats himself all the time. And I think it's really fun to watch. Another good instance of that is whenever it's right after they see the Black Lives Matter protest and they go back into the police precinct. He keeps turning around to ask the black cop, Michael. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" But
he's just like, just chilling. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, he's like kind of like, why are you tripping? It's so funny though.
I will say that one girl was getting on my nerves the whole time. The one that was like trying to be like the super activist one.
It was such a character though. It was so funny, and then I found it even funnier. Like what made her so great is the fact that boy, I can't remember his name, but the guy who keeps trying to chase her and bang her, he's just such grifting on his belief on politics, and he's so. He doesn't even know how to grift it. He goes up. This isn't about the politics, but he goes up. He barely reads a summary on this woman she's reading a book on, and he's like, "Yo, she won that award." He doesn't even try. He's so bad at the idea of even pretending to be these things he's not.
The funniest thing is when he's talking to his parents.
Yeah. Oh my God. I have the quote because I think that's so funny. It's so great.
That quote makes me laugh. Because that sounds so real.
Well, because he's like the whiteness is bad, and we need to reform the whiteness so we can come back with our whiteness and it be right. And then Dad's react. I mean, you just see in his face. It's one of the great things in comedy whenever you know what's coming, but then it just exceeds your expectations, and that's exactly what the dad is. Are you blank? What the fuck are you talking about? You are white. Like it is so funny.
But I feel like that conversation got said so many times to people.
Oh my God, yeah, and that's why I think it's so perfect. Like he really reflects, like probably a conversation that has happened so many times in that exact way that it is funny. It is funny. We know people who probably have heard those things or have said those things themselves.
It's like what they were saying. It's like I get what you're going for, but what you're saying is so ridiculous. I can't support what you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you're saying is so dumb that it makes me sad for you. Like, I watched some video. Like, And the bad part is, like, every time I'm watching that, I see a video on Facebook or Instagram that completely, like, validates that movie's characterization of somebody. Like, I've seen people reenact that, and it's like the movies are getting too real. You know what I mean?
Well, see, sometimes that's why I like a movie. So I like movies that can either, hey, take me into so far into that world that I'm believing it. And like, you know, that we were talking about Avatar earlier before the podcast. That's why I like the first one so much and the second one so much, is because you really get immersed in the world. And there's the third one, as much as I did like it, there's moments where I felt like I got taken out of the world. And that's where, like, I love when movies really pull me in and keep me in there. Or the opposite, where it's so close to our real life that it feels like I'm just watching a character of our life.
That's what Eddington felt like. Eddington felt a little bit too real for me.
Well, that's a lot of people were very uncomfortable by it because there is so real, and it obviously,
especially if you were like in society during COVID. Like if you weren't the one who actually just stayed at your house and was like, if you were the ones who ventured out, it gets too real. Because I've seen people react that way.
Right, and that's why I think, like, you hit the nail on the head earlier with the like, oh yeah, you first were okay with Joe. You're first like fans of Joe, Joaquin Phoenix's character, because hey, he's basically he's not for the masks, which hey, you could be for the masks or COVID or like the vaccines and stuff like that. That is like getting beyond the point. He is just like, hey, you can't be mean to these people when you're trying to make your point. And that is like, hey, you can really get behind that. Yeah. You're like, wow, that is a very profound point. Also, one of the funniest parts of the movie, too, where I laugh really out loud, is right after he says that to the guy, like preventing the guy from going into the grocery store, he walks past the line and it does a pan out, and it's just a giant Pedro Pascal mural.
So the thing is with that movie is like, I've identified with Joaquin Phoenix because it was like, I've been in that situation where like you feel a certain way that's opposite of what everyone else is thinking, but you're trying to be respectful of how everyone feels. Like, I don't agree with this, but I'm going to be trying understanding here.
Yeah, and you know, again, it kind of goes into showing like how he's not built for that political lifestyle as well as the modern Western lifestyle, is when he tries to confront everyone in the store, including the mayor, and he's just stammering through it, and he doesn't really know how to explain laws versus mandates, and like who's working for who in the government. But he's just, at some point, I think he just gives up, and he's like, "Hey, those are the I'm buying those groceries," and then ends it.
And then I also like how it shows like both characters break their own beliefs.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Both characters do that because Pedro Pascal is the whole like, you know, you can't do this COVID thing. You have to stay 6 feet apart. He breaks the rule by walking up to the sheriff. Like, come on, man. Like, he's like, but we know I'm just telling everybody else. It's showing like that is exactly what's happening.
Right. Well, that's
the
also
same
just
people
such a
yelling
funny
at
scene,
you
too.
are breaking their own rules.
That's such a funny scene too, because he's like, "Did I do something to offend you?" And Joaquin Phoenix is trying to not like keep it cool, but he's also so angry because of the believed rape.
Yeah.
Which is such a that whole thing is wild.
Which I feel
too,
like if you would have just came like, I feel like a lot of these movies, if you're like, if you guys would have just walked up and asked each other this, like we could have. This all could have been prevented.
Well, I will say that's like the one thing where I think like Pedro Pascal character is kind of like the at least at the beginning the morally correct one in the argument of the like political races, because he does go and he's like, hey, like I think there's a misunderstanding. Can we please go have a talk? We never had that conversation.
Yeah,
and it's really important for us to go have that conversation. And instantly Joaquin Phoenix is like, no, and that's like where you first get the instinct that he is actually not good. Yeah. He is like actually not the hero of the story. He's actually the opposite of the hero.
Yep.
But again, so is Pedro Pascal. He is not a hero either. Like that's like, I think where again everyone gets like a little frustrated by this movie, and it's why I love it so much, is because I think the left like hated how Pedro Pascal was portrayed, because he's so in the government pocket like of everyone else.
Yeah.
And that is true. That's a lot of left people,
yeah.
Like a lot of the left-leaning people in government. And then the right is just so reckless and kind of uncaring of like the real social problems happening. So it's very interesting to see how they did it. And I would love to talk to people who really got like mad over it and see like what exactly bothered them? Like, which parts were the parts that triggered them to it?
Yeah, because like I said, there were certain characters that annoyed me just because I find that type of person annoying.
Right. Okay, so who annoyed you the most besides the protester chick?
The protester chick and the guy and the mayor's kid. Because I'm like, you're talking so much shit right now. But I'm like, if he was allowed to grab you up and snatch you up, like you're talking shit to an adult because you know as a kid you can't get hit. But I was like, if you were an adult, this dude would be completely justified in smacking you in the face.
Right, but like that also says a lot about our culture though, where what internet has created and what social media specifically has created. Which, quick little side before I finish that point, like this is like one of the first movies where I feel like they really got social media down and like the effect it's having on our society, and like he shows the aspect where you think now you can say whatever you want and get away with it, because there is a point where Joaquin Phoenix does push him or grab him.
Yep.
And then he reacts like, "Oh shit!" He runs away. He runs away from the conflict, and everyone else has to step in and be like, "You did wrong. And then you never see the kid again until he gets shot.
Yep.
So like it is like very interesting. Like he doesn't understand the idea of confrontation. He just knows how to talk shit because that's what online is.
And I felt really bad because I was kind of like, when he shot the kid, I was like, good. I felt really bad because I was like, but his character annoyed me so much. I was like, good for him.
Well, I
felt really bad doing that. Like, there's some characters, like, when you see him die in something, like, you hate this character so much that you're like, thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also nice because it comes at, like, such a great point in the movie. The scene right before that, well, it's two scenes right before that, when he gets humiliated at Pedro Pascal's party. I'm
trying to check to see what time we're at just because I forgot to hit start on the timer. I thought it had it up. I thought I hit start. I didn't see if it was counting, so I'm like double checking it.
Don't worry, I got plenty of notes. We can talk forever.
Yeah.
We didn't even get into Austin Butler's character at all.
Yeah, just go ahead and keep talking because I want to hear it.
Yeah, so, crap, what was I saying? This is great podcasting, folks. The Katy Perry scene when he goes to turn down the music for Pedro Pascal's like election party.
Yeah.
And they're blasting Katy Perry's firework. Such an incredible scene. The way it's filmed with him walking to the speaker in the long shot and then walking back, and you can tell it's like walk of shame because he just got outed as being wrong for the sexual allegations. Sexual misconduct allegations. And you can just feel the embarrassment he has walking through that party, but he's trying to like be stoic, and then immediately gets shut down by Pedro Pascal. Not once, not twice, 3 times, ending with a brutal 2 slap to the face.
And the thing is, if he would have just said, "My bad," like, "I'm sorry, I messed up," again, the whole thing would be prevented. But I think it's interesting. The movie takes you like, no, this is not how that works, and this is what happens as a result of that.
Right, and that's
you can see like all these turns. Like, if the character would have done this, all this would have been prevented. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's like a current thing in our politics. So like, if the people in power, I'm not talking about like people who just believe things. I'm talking about the people in power. If they would just sit down and actually talk and not be so interested in their own self-interests, they would be interested in the actual, hey, like, this is how we handle things for our society. This is how we make the public good. I think we would get a lot more done, and that's exactly that. They would get a lot more done if they just sat down, worked things out properly, and they don't. They don't do that at all.
Yeah, I think gone are the days, and it's like, I feel like it's all a scam either way. I feel like it's all like theater either way. But like, it's kind of what the reason why I wanted to compare it with One Battle After Another is because you both also have 2 corrupt law enforcement officers. Because you have Sean Penn's character, who like his
I'm not the biggest Sean Penn fan, but that movie, he is incredible in this movie. I love him in this movie, not because he's like a great character. His character's a piece of shit, though they give him great empathy. I got a lot more to say about Eddington, but
We can go back to editing too. If you,
they give Lockjaw, that's Sean Penn's character. They give him such great, like you as the audience feel such empathy for him because you understand his situation. He just wants love, but he's just such a racist piece of shit about it. It's so funny. Like his performance is incredible. It's so good.
I was wondering if like the racism came afterwards.
No, because
he went he went along with it, him and her.
Yeah, but he's very much like he has a lot of microaggressions in that sense. Like when people talk about microaggressions, like the way he acts is exactly it. He views her as just a sexual object because it's something he doesn't know. It's like he gets someone foreign, so to say now, and he like fetishizes that in that moment, especially whenever she comes in, gets him all hard, and it's all about the black power. And like she's doing it because she's the strong, independent black woman, and I think he in that moment fetishizes that and can't get over it. And then once she leaves him and he has no way of getting her, I think he then just turns it all into just pure racism and hatred.
But how about they leave you hanging on her story, and then randomly kick off the movie again?
Good, I'm fine with that. Fuck her. Her story ends there. That whole the first 35 minutes
like
or
how
first
they
45 minutes is
give
just
you
a prologue.
the ending of that. How they give you the ending to her story in just passing.
Good though, because you shouldn't care about her. The story is not about her. That again, it's very interesting, and I don't know why. I kind of knew this just going into it. It was one of those things. I sat down. I was so excited for it. It was like I was having like a bad day, and Heather and I just decided like, oh hey, let's go to the movies. I've been wanting to see this. It just came out. And I sat down and I was just in for the ride. I was like, hey, let's go. From start to finish, I was pretty much laughing. I think there was only like 2 moments where I didn't laugh and just kind of was like, oh, this is a great break from laughter.
Yeah.
But
he was cracking me up though.
oh, both of them were. She's funny. All the characters are really well written and really well acted. The only one who I don't think is acted well, and she's just such a minor role, is the teacher. But even then, she has one moment where I'm like, no, that she does that part really well.
It's just DiCaprio, whenever he's like keeps calling and explaining who he is to this guy.
Which
the
is such
guy
a great.
goes, I don't know who this is. You need to answer the question. You motherfucker.
But that's such a great metaphor though for the left in their language and how like they are so precise with language, because the older generation doesn't know. They don't get it. They're stuck with what they know. And he knows like so much of it, and then whenever he's like, well, you need to know the next part, he's like, well, I already gave you this part. Like I'm trying. Meet me halfway. And that is such a great metaphor, and it's also just so funny. I think it's so funny. Especially
when he goes, let me talk to your manager. Let me talk to him. He's like, say you're sorry to him. He's a war hero. He's like, yeah, you better fucking. He just goes after him even more.
So I know a lot less people who've seen Eddington, so I don't know if they would have walked out, so to say, but I know everyone except for me who I know who went and seen one battle after another in theater left at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was just because they were so, like, confused. Because if you don't understand the first 30 minutes, it's seriously, it feels like the first hour almost. If you don't understand that first, like, part is just a prologue building up for the main story, it would be confusing. You're like, what am I watching? It's almost a little montage-is. That's a weird word.
Yeah.
It's very montagey. Like it's kind of like, hey, this is what they're doing. This is what, like, who these people are. This is who these people are. You kind of have to pay attention with it quick. And I think a lot of people were just like, I'm not for this. This is not what I was expecting.
I like also how everyone snitched on each other in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Like it took, like no one had the balls to do anything.
Well, I mean, it was mainly her. She's the one who went and snitched and got them all caught.
Yeah, well, she snitches, and then there's the guy who set him up with like the identity and set him on his own thing.
Oh yeah,
and then
he
snitches on him. Like at the moment he goes, well, what about your sister? Like immediately flips.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you're not so funny now. I really wish he would have given one more joke, but I get why he didn't. Real quick in that beginning, during that montage, I think it's one of the funniest things ever is when her name is Jungle Pussy goes and they go rob the bank, and she goes and stands on the thing and just gives a monologue about how they're using their money to go cause chaos. And I get it, it's supposed to be like her presenting her power, but I think that's just like when it shows like how the left is like just insane themselves and like that's the extreme lefts, like the people who are like causing the chaos, like that'd be the Antifas, so to say.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to just her monologue. The first time I found it funny, but I feel like I didn't fully hear her. The second time watching it, I heard her, and I'm just still laughing because it's so batshit insane.
It sounds like something Tarantino would have wrote.
Yeah, but it's like from an insane person. Like usually his characters are like written as they're all kind of like mystical and whimsical in their own way and very wise. She is just batshit insane, and she has like obviously their message is not insane. Like they're trying to.
Well, you notice that everyone's attitude changes the moment that gunshot goes off.
Yeah.
She kills that guard.
Yeah, okay, so I talked about how Joaquin Phoenix in Eddington isn't built for that lifestyle. There's a couple moments in that beginning part where you see both Leonardo DiCaprio, and I can't remember her name, but Perfidia Beverly Hills is like the character's name. She, both of them are not built for the lifestyle they're living right now. And that's the moment you see it for her, because she's this whole time talked such game and has done pretty bad shit. But as soon as it comes to actually harming someone, she freezes. And that's why she gets caught. She doesn't know how to react to it. They have to pull her away from it. And then when she gets caught on her own running, she kind of just freezes up a lot. And it comes down to she was not built for that life like the rest of their family was, or the people around her was.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is they had that rebellious spirit until things got real.
Right.
Once things got real, because she was all for the whole rebellion thing. They were blowing stuff up, but they didn't kill anybody. It's when she pulls that trigger that all of a sudden she and then she gets caught immediately after, and then snitches, and then.
Well, I disagree. They are definitely killing people when they're blowing shit up. I think the difference is they aren't watching the carnage. They aren't seeing these people die before their eyes. This time they're watching. They see the damage they're doing by shooting someone individually. And plus I think it's a black person they shoot too. So I think they're like, fuck. Like I think it just really kind of breaks their spirits. For Leo, his reality hits differently. It's whenever he finds out she's pregnant. Which is also just a funny jump shot. It goes from her sleeping with Sean Penn's character to her just shooting a machine gun with a massively pregnant, like almost overly pregnant stomach.
And the thing is like I didn't even think about him being the dad.
Really?
I was so invested in it was Leo, and then when they presented, I'm like, oh yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
I honestly was almost expecting it as like to be the rug pull, finding out Sean Penn wasn't the father, because I was so at that moment like, oh, Sean Penn's the dad. That's why the jump shot was done that way.
Yeah,
I was expecting I didn't think it was shocking when you found it was the dad. I thought it would have been shocking the opposite if he was like, no, you actually aren't my daughter.
Yeah.
And then he causes all that trouble for no reason. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go check the camera real quick.
Okay.
And we'll come right back, and yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick.
So nice little break there.
You said you were telling me like in the break you had some thoughts about Eddington.
Touch on. We mentioned Joker and how you said like you think Joaquin Phoenix is like you see a performance in that you get into Eddington. I think you should go back, because I know you said earlier you hadn't watched a lot of Ari Aster films. I think you should go back and watch Beau's Afraid. And I will be on record and say that movie is fantastic. I know everyone hates it, but I love it. I think it's so funny.
I've seen people shit on that movie, and I'm like, I don't know like what it was about. Does it follow like his whole life or something?
No, not really. It just follows like a week journey of his, and he's just like insane. But his like mother is overbearing and insane too. It's really interesting. It's very self-indulgent. I will be honest. Like you said earlier about pretentious movies. This would be probably his most pretentious movie he's done yet, Ari Aster. But it works, in my opinion. There's moments that maybe don't fully work. It's not a perfect movie, but the comedy in it's really funny. It's like his first transition out of horror, but there's still some horror elements in it, and those moments are creepy. Throughout it, there's a lot of hints that like you watch, the more times you watch it, the more you see. And it really shows like this greater picture of stuff happening around. I think that's really incredible.
So I was reading somewhere like where both directors came up with the ideas for the movies. I think was it One Battle After Another is based off a book.
Yeah, Vineland.
Yeah, which I never read. I don't know what it's about. And then I think with Eddington, it was an idea he had before COVID, and then after COVID, he's like, "Oh, I have the perfect setting I can make this story in." So it was like, I kind of want to know what the story was going to be like before COVID.
Yeah, this was one I think he said he wanted to do for a while, but the studios kept making him do. Well, I think the studio made him do Midsummer, and then I think he had the money. He's like, I should do Beau's Afraid, because that's probably his like most self-indulgent film.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, while I have the money and the studio's giving me money, let's do it. Eddington, I think he waited the perfect amount of time. I think he worked on it perfectly. Because I'm sure he did a lot of editing throughout Beau's Afraid and stuff. I think he kept working on it.
And it's like, you can't make a COVID movie in the middle of COVID, unlike The Bubble.
I did not see The Bubble. I thought it looked terrible.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a movie they tried to make during COVID about COVID. Well, you can't do that because not everything's played out yet.
Yeah, you need some time to reflect on things.
Yeah, you need to see how the story all plays out. Give it some time. Give it, like, same thing with 9/11. Like, you can't make a 9/11 movie like the next year. It just doesn't, like, you can't do that. We need more info. There's more things going to come out. It's just like, the movie's inaccurate now because you lied.
I mean, how much info did we need? I seen the one documentary. It's pretty clear Bush did it.
Yeah. I seen the charges going on.
I can't remember that documentary. No, I didn't actually even see it. I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I like how he took the time, and like, because he took the time, all sides are represented. Like, all characterizations of different types of people were represented in that town.
Right, and I think it's still very relevant today because, I mean, people don't like to admit it, but COVID had a real impact on us, and like, it's still going. Like, that impact is still being felt mentally and just like by everyday life in general. And I think the way they captured a lot of the mentality of people, I think, still reflects a lot of things today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very interesting. We didn't talk about all characters. The one character I think is really funny is the mom.
Yeah,
she is so funny.
I like. Yeah, it kind of like, you're part of the reason why you drove her away.
Well, it's not just that. You hear just snippets of what she's saying, and you know, like, you get the conspiracy theory she's talking about throughout it, but it's all rambling. It's all just insane rambling that she is saying. And like, only like certain parts are actually like relevant to the story. Everything else is just her giving wild conspiracy theories, and it's awesome. It's so fucking funny.
The funniest thing though is like, I like how that was his punishment for everything that he did in the movie. Like, in the movie, he makes a point of being like, how long is she going to be here? Like, I don't want to deal with her. And then he's stuck with her. Like, she's his caretaker, and he's trapped listening to her.
Yeah, well,
ramble forever.
Not only that, they have like this drunk MR guy or a PA guy or whatever. He's just physical assistant.
Yeah,
and he is just he's such a dick. He like hits him over the head at one point. He's like, "I'm sorry." he just matter of factly apologizes after just hitting this disabled guy. Which, him getting disabled is one of the funniest. The final shootout in like last 30 minutes, explosive, but also just so funny. Him running away wheezing because he has COVID from the Antifa guys is fucking awesome. Then he goes into the armory, pulls out cartoon weapons. He pulls out like a cartoonish kind of gun and starts shooting. He blows off the cop's leg.
Yeah, that was like, whew.
And then he kills a couple people, but then whenever one guy comes running at him and the gun doesn't work, he freezes. Like, he can't do anything, and then just bam, right in the head.
Yeah, like, it was just, it felt like it hit so many like moments like during COVID too. Like, because like that was like its Kyle Rittenhouse moment, it felt like.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you know what I
especially,
mean?
yeah, because that kid comes in, saves the sheriff, which that's such a funny line. He's like, "Sheriff, I saved you." Meanwhile, he's sitting there with a knife sticking out of his head. But yeah, then what happens right after that? He blows up and becomes a Republican influencer, which is so funny because the whole time he's been stumbling and sucking at being a left influencer kind of person.
Which even seems more like closer to reality. It seems like hey, let's just grab like these random people that are like kind of pieces of shit and like, hey, let's make this person an influencer.
Right, and that's, I mean, hey, I love movies like that. I love when movies like have characters who are pieces of shit. Did you ever see Election?
Which one is that?
That's with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon.
No, I haven't seen that
Dude,
one.
talk about pieces of shit. Like the characters in that movie, except there's one character who's like pure at heart, and it's not who you expect. But every other character in the movie is like an absolute piece of shit. But it's incredible. It's like one of my favorite movies because it's also very reflective of real life. But we didn't talk about him at all yet, and we really didn't talk about her too much. What about Austin Butler and the wife?
I was like, that threw me off. But it also kind of made sense that like that would happen.
Yeah, the first time I seen it, I was almost so confused by what happened. I don't think I really caught it, and I kind of thought the guy was full of shit the whole time. The second time I watched it, I don't know what I believe currently. Mm-hmm. I think he was probably abducted, and he talks about it like he's part of Epstein's Island, and I think that's where I think it's false. Like I think he really makes it grandeur and like makes it like bigger than it is. So these people start following him because obviously whenever you have that kind of trauma, you either regress to a really bad state or you rise and become abusive yourself. And he becomes like a cult leader, which those guys are abusive.
Yeah.
So I think like it's very interesting. I think he definitely like blows up what his story was because he says he's like, a certain person who hung himself. He's clearly referencing Epstein. I don't think his thing was Epstein, but I bet something did happen to him, and that's why he's so good at being able to capture the people who've also been affected.
Oh yeah, well I mean like I was gonna say like that's kind of like the whole what happened to Manson thing. They believe Manson was like a CIA he was like a plant to make the hippies look bad. Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, like get all these people in compromising situations and we could do things with them.
Quick side, I read the Chaos book. It was very compelling. But then I tried watching that documentary on Netflix and it's very bad. They somehow did a really bad job in my opinion on the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, well documentaries are only as good as the guy putting it together.
Well, it's the same guy. That's like the insane part. I think it's only like an hour and 20 minutes and it's like such a large deep. The book is like 38 hours because I listened to it on audio. I didn't read it. I listened to it.
Counts.
It's like no, it's sorry. It's like maybe 12 hours, but still, you can't take 12 hours and compress into an hour and 20 minutes. That's insane.
That's why it's like some documentaries need to be 6 episodes. But like I've noticed they've been doing ridiculous documentaries on shit. Like, do we really need a documentary on the Pepsi guy, Jet? As fun as it was, did it really need to be 3-hour documentary?
See, that's funny. It's how I feel about biopics. Do I need another biopic on Bob Dylan, or can I go watch some of the better documentaries?
That's fair. I think it's just fun to watch like that that famous person come to life again, in a sense.
He's still alive. He didn't die. He's still alive. Same with Bruce Springsteen. I guess it'd be one thing if they were dead, like the Freddie Mercury one and even the Elton John one. Elton John's still alive. But like the Freddie Mercury one, like I guess I get it because he's dead. But honestly, that one I still couldn't get into. That one I thought it sucked.
I think it's because we're nostalgic for that time. Because that time seems like so much fun.
Oh God, don't get me started on nostalgia. We already bitched about Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like you know what I mean. Like I feel like that's like I think that's why people like want biopics, is because it takes me back to when that music first came out, and I remember the feeling of when that song came out during that time. Because like NWA was a pretty cool. Like Straight Outta Compton was a pretty good music biopic.
But I could just go listen to Fuck the Police right now and feel the nostalgia then. I don't need to listen to Ice Cube's son. Or if I want to listen to Ice Cube's son sing it, have him just sing his own version. Make his own album with that cover of that song.
I remember me and my buddy went to go see Straight Outta Compton. And like I might be one of the only dudes in the theater. Like the only white dude in that theater. And there was a dude behind me, like an older guy. And he's telling like everything that they were going to say, like announce like the name of something, like, oh, we're gonna call the record. He would say the name of the record before they would say it. Like he knew the history that much. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why people like music biopics.
I guess. Did you see the Jeremy Allen White one, the Bruce Springsteen one?
I didn't. I heard it was like the book's better.
It looks bad. It looked bad. I think I'm also not a Bruce Springsteen fan. Go ahead, mention in the comments how much I suck. I hate Bruce Springsteen. I can't get into him. I like some of his
He's got a couple
songwriting.
songs that are good.
I like some of his songwriting, but I don't like when he does it. Like I like the band's cover of Atlantic City more than I like his song. I like Man for Man's cover of Blinded by the Light more than his song.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that used to do Atlantic City as a cover, like in his band, and his version was better than Bruce Springsteen's.
Yeah,
like,
it's
in
an
my
incredible
opinion.
song, and I get it. Obviously, he's made more money than I probably ever will in comedy, let alone music. But like, I don't know. I can't get into him. He's not for me. So I definitely don't want to see the movie. And I don't know. It feels like just such Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Back to our movies we're talking about.
Yes. We get. That's the problem. We all have ADHD, so we're all like, it's easy for us to get derailed.
That's how I felt sometimes when talking, going back to Austin Butler's character. That's how I felt with him. He just like, he didn't, the first time I seen it, I felt like he derailed the film because I was just so taken aback at what we were watching.
Yeah.
But then the second time watching it, I kind of got it a lot more. It felt a lot more natural into the story.
And it was kind of like weird because it's like Emma Stone's character reminded you of the people that weren't mentally well before COVID. And then after COVID, it just cranked it up to begin. Like,
oh, absolutely. And this is again where I think the screen time and like the play on social media really comes in, because the mom, they're both insane with social media. They both believe in these conspiracy theories and like follow that Austin Butler character. And you can tell Emma Stone was batshit insane because being molested by her dad. COVID made it worse, and then just because of COVID, you're doing all this like conspiracy
and the social
theory
media is cranking up the anxiety, and it's breaking her in the wrong.
I don't think there's one point where her and her husband like actually talk to each other without a screen.
Yeah.
It's either the only time where I think they kind of have a conversation is when he's screaming at her through the glass door. But like the other time he tries, she's asleep on the bed.
It's when she's leaving. He tries to stop,
yeah, but she doesn't talk to him.
Yeah, she doesn't acknowledge him.
There's a couple times where they try talking to each other. Like she says something to him and he's busy, or like he says something to her about like he asks her. So which is insane that this has never come up before. But he like finally asks her, "Oh, was your dad the one who molested you, or was it Pedro Pascal's character?" And she's asleep, like, or she pretends to sleep. I honestly can't tell which one it is.
I feel like
but she doesn't talk to him. She does not answer. She does not respond. She is very much just lets him sit there one-sided at that point.
Yeah, it just felt weird because it was just like her character was just so confusing to me. Like, because you're like, what the fuck is going on with you? Like, I would get so frustrated in that position because you're like, I don't know how to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, again,
even like you could see how frustrated he is because he's like, I don't know what to do for you. Like.
Yeah, well, he is not good at, and this is like a common problem men have, I think, in relationships, is they don't know. And I'm not saying this like I'm good at it. There's moments I'm definitely bad at it, but like a lot of men aren't good with empathy and good at like, responding to their partner's needs whenever they're having emotionally traumatic like flashbacks, or they're struggling with trauma of something. And sometimes it's just like a simple, hey, you need to just ask, what do you need from me? But it's clear he's never done anything like that. He's never once tried to support her the way she needs. He tries to support her the way he thinks she needs, which is very interesting. And I think it's very interesting just, again, how much he's just like so out of place. He's such a fish out of water. He shouldn't be the sheriff. He shouldn't be running for mayor for sure. And instead, he tries to run for mayor. He wins just because he kills the opponent. And then,
well, I mean, like, he's also like so prideful that he can't just accept the fact that he can't do the job.
Right. And then like at the end, it literally gets him, which is so incredible itself. Like you said, he's stuck with the mom in the beginning. He's stuck in his life. He feels stuck. And then for him to be just physically stuck at the end because he's paralyzed. But that's what happens when he tries to be in the Old West, and he's not built for that. He's not built for that life.
It's funny. I'm wondering if the director's going to hear this and be like, you guys got it all fucking wrong.
I would love to talk to, I mean, hey, if he wants to reach out, please, that would be awesome.
But then it's like, I always think it's fun whenever, like, I like when people explain things to the director and they're like, that's not how I meant it, but I think it's interesting that you think that.
Well, yeah, I mean, Again, I think he made this movie. I think for both of them, I think they made the story. They told the story, and they're letting you interpret it. It's kind of, you know how Zach Krieger for Weapons keeps trying to say like he didn't write that movie for any certain thing.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that. It's that mentality, except Zach Krieger is doing like a poor job. It's very clearly about school shootings. Where I think these other ones, I think, do a better job at their subtlety and just letting you as the audience decide what it's about and what they feel. And I think Ari Aster's the kind of person, based off the interviews I've seen, he seems like he might have his like what his intentions were, but he seems like he would be the kind of guy that would appreciate the other interpretations. And also, I want to be clear too, I'm not a film critic. These are just how I viewed the movie. These are just my interpretations of the movie.
It's just fun to like watch a movie and be like, oh, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at the very least, I think they'd appreciate the fact that I love them. These were both my favorite movies of 2025, and nothing against Ari Aster, but I think One Battle After Another might be one of my favorite. Like, it maybe reached into my top 10. I love this movie. Yeah. Both times I watched it, like, I had trouble taking notes because I was just laughing so hard.
Yeah, it's like, it's not what I thought it was going to be at all. I thought, because the way that you see the trailer, you're thinking like, oh, this is like a serious, like, they're making a movie like supporting.
Well, the first trailer they dropped was very comedic.
Yeah.
And I had seen There Will Be Blood at that point. It was before I watched Boogie Nights or Punch Drunk Love. But in There Will Be Blood, there's a lot of like subtle comedy, kind of like Scorsese, where it's just like the actual characters themselves are just funny. So the things they do, their actions are funny. Mm-hmm. So I had a feeling like there would be some of that. But I would say from start to finish, I think I said this already, but from start to finish on One Battle After Another, I was laughing, like in tears, laughing. Heather at one point, because we went together. She was like, there was points you were laughing that I didn't really understand what you were laughing at.
You know, it's funny when we brought up how the beginning of the movie is, how they play like her story out, and then it feels like the movie jump starts again.
Yeah.
That is a good example of how that works. The bad example I was thinking of, the reason why I was like at first like against it reminded me of Friday the 13th. Did you ever see the remake?
Yeah, the remake was... I think there were some interesting parts about it. Like, I like the fact that they made him run.
So, here's the problem I have with that movie is the beginning of the movie, they introduce these characters, they give you a backstory of the camp, and then Jason comes in and kills everybody. Like, and everyone dies. And then it kicks off again. Here's the new group of people do the same. You just made two movies in one.
They have two prologues in that. Yeah, I remember that being pretty dumb.
And it was like, why? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like a good example of doing it versus for why.
Yeah, again, though, this makes a lot of sense because, again, it really sets up all the character motivations for the actual story. There's no character motivations. Friday the 13th, there's one character with motivation. Every other character doesn't
they
have
basically
motivation.
made that, like, it was like, okay, like, here's the first movie we wanted to make. That character's died. Oh, hey, now here's the second one. Here's the second movie we're also kind of remaking where he's the brother of this person, and they're going to look for him because he went missing. I'm like, so you made 1 and 2 in the same movie. You didn't have to. You could have just, all right. But I feel like their version was kind of like, yeah, this is like a little like 30-minute thing, but you need to know this in order for why this story makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, though, I think it just really works with this movie, I think, which is funny because I think everyone who I went to or that I talked to who said they walked out, I'm pretty sure that's the part that didn't work for them. I think they were so confused by what happened in that time jump. But I think
stuck
again
around for the ending, you'd have heard where he says, "I killed her. I tracked her down and killed her." He went where he tells his daughter that.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, like he just threw that. That was like a throwaway line. Whether he actually did that versus whether I think he actually did it.
I don't know if I believe that.
You think she's just in Mexico, like hiding?
Yeah, she said a couple places in the letter. I don't think he had enough ambition to do it.
I think he was so embarrassed because, like, hey, I'm bringing this girl in and she's going to testify and bust all these people, and then she leaves.
Yeah, maybe not ambition. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, embarrassment's probably the better word.
And the insult at the end when she writes on the paper the note. I think that right there was him like, all right, she needs to die now.
Yeah, I also just think... I think he has other things to do. Like I said, I think he became really racist and just like focus his energy more on what he was doing. There's a reason why he gets picked up by the Christmas Adventure Club, which, by the way, is also just so fucking funny. When they were like, "Hail Saint Nick," dude, I fucking
that was just. You're like, I don't. How, you're taking like it's funny. I love when they show like a racist like supremacist group in a movie and how stupid they are.
Well, that's funny because it's such a caricature of what I think the left thinks the right wing is.
Yeah.
It's that's what it is. It's like both are characters of what the other side thinks they are. So like when people are like, this is the left are crazy and they're just causing chaos.
Yeah.
That's exactly what like he portrays. That's what he's like, this is what the right thinks the left is. And then whenever it comes down to the right, the left is like, oh, they're just racist. They only want white power. They only want like the people of those in power. When I'm not saying there isn't racism, but it's mainly hey, they're just trying to self-preserve themselves. But it's just so funny that they make it such a character, and to put it around this like Christmas theme is awesome. It's so funny.
I remember like when I brought it up when I was asking you to do the pod, I was like, I want to talk about these two movies. You're like, well, they're kind of different movies. I was like, I think I found the common thread in just us talking about it. Is they're both characterizations of modern politics.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think when I was saying they're different movies is like they're kind of how I said in the beginning. Like they're the same movie, but they're so different. You're not watching the same movie.
Right.
They're tackling similar issues without tackling the same subject and the same points. They're both beautifully told and masterfully told in their own way.
Yeah.
We didn't. I mean, there's so much we could talk about. Well, where are we at in time?
We've got another 4 minutes.
Should we do the summary then, and then we'll get into the other points on the Patreon, or?
We can talk about the other points real quick.
Okay. I mean, I got a lot of other points. How about we go back, because there's only one other point I have for Eddington, and I guess it's a question I want to ask you because I read this online. I think this is really interesting.
Sure.
The Antifa that comes in at the end. Do you think that's Antifa, or do you think that's the data centers, like people that that they sent in there to cause chaos?
See, there's
because they knew Joaquin Phoenix would be against the
one
data
battle
center.
after another, and I remember Sean Penn being like, "Light them up."
Yeah,
and
that's such a great scene.
That is a guy who infiltrated to spark it so that they could move on him.
And I think it would make sense that corporation would definitely.
But I
do that.
actually think it might have been Antifa. I kind of think it might have actually been, just because they didn't go that much in depth of it. I think
that's fair. I think it works both ways.
If it was, I think they would have hinted more directly that.
I think it works both ways. I don't know if I agree with that point because, again, you should watch Beau's Afraid a couple times because the amount of stuff that they hide in there is incredible. He's same with Hereditary and Midsommar. Like he hides so much. Sorry.
Yeah.
He hides so much in there. I think it would make sense if there was something hidden in there to point to that. Like, there's a reason people think that, and I think it's a great theory. Like, again, I think it works. The only
reason why I'm
ways.
saying, like, because it's an allegory for the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I almost said Josh Rittenhouse thing. But
yeah, Josh Rittenhouse, what are you doing?
Yeah. The only reason why I think it's because it's an allegory for Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, the people that he shot were actually like Antifa type people. Like, they were just
right.
They weren't actual plants.
Well, but like you said though, like in one battle after another, they light them up, as you said.
Right.
So like, who's to say during these Antifa battles it wasn't just us government people being like, hey.
Oh no, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that's why both movies are important because like. I just feel like that's one thing they didn't cover. Like, I don't know. Nothing hinted to me that made it think otherwise. That's why. Well,
the data center has such a background, and like the Pedro Pascal's like buddy that works with him through the whole time. I thought he was like a political advisor the first time. He's not. He's for the data center. He's working for the data center.
But the data center also seems is one of those things where it's like compares to today because they're having that fight now where I grew up. Is they want to put a data center down like south of Pittsburgh, and I'm like,
yeah, and they're terrible. They're absolutely decimating the area.
Yeah, they're like, you can't do this; it'll kill this entire area.
And it's great that he picked the setting it is in like New Mexico or whatever because that it happened in those states first, and it happened during COVID when those data centers were being built. So like it is really perfect how he wrote that film. But yeah, so I just wanted your thoughts on that because I read that and again I was like, I think the movie works both ways. So I'm not convinced yet fully, but I think it's an interesting theory and I'm like it could work. It makes sense.
Yeah, I gotta go check the camera real quick. We're gonna come back, do a little like summary of both, and then do a little shout out so where you can find Seth, and then switch over to the Patreon where you can see us do unhinged shit.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, so we pretty much summed up Eddington pretty good. Like pretty much hit all the points we could.
Yeah,
but I feel like we did leave out some things for one battle after another.
Mainly, we just forgot to talk about the sensei Benicio del Toro. He was so like funny, like naturally funny. Yeah, I mean, so all the characters in that movie are very flawed. And I don't know if this is like, I won't say it's a flaw, but he's like very much a Robin Hood type. And it makes him the most morally good character.
Yeah.
And like Leo's thaw is he is a stoner and is like an old, like his brain's fried, as he even says. He's constantly freaking out. Sean Penn's obviously racist. The daughter's not young and naive. Like you can go down the list of like all their flaws where again, I wouldn't call it a flaw, but does break the law, but he is doing that to help people. He's doing it because he believes the most in like humans. He has like that very much like a belief in just helping people, and he drinks a little bit, but he's just doing it for fun. Like he's very much about staying calm. He's very much about keeping everyone else around him calm. Like his whole thing with Leo is trying to keep him calm and happy, not freaking out on the guy on the phone.
Yeah, because he's like you can help people if you're just chill. Like you can help people and there's no problems if you're just chill.
Yeah,
because it's whenever you start getting too extreme with it. Like he's seen him do good. He's seen him do good, even though like he's not. I want to say like he's not hurting anybody. Like he's not blowing things up. He's not doing that. No, he's just like smuggling.
Yeah, and again, like out in that, he's very much out of the politics of it. Like, say, he breaks the law, but he's not really involved in any of the politics. He's just involved in helping people. He's not doing it for a message. He's not doing it for praise and glory. He's doing it just to get people by.
Yeah.
And I love the little dance he does at the end. I know everyone loves it, but it is so funny to see just like the way he is dancing around for those cops. Him drinking and driving is real funny. I think is also just really good. His whole thing is just really funny.
I like how Leo got him caught though. Like he's just sipping the.
Yeah, it is funny, but it also you can tell he doesn't care. He's interested in helping Willow, and he's like, which also, by the way, how dumb are those cops? They're literally behind them, and they don't see Leo jump out the car.
Yeah.
How fucking dumb are they?
Yeah, how fast was he going? It's like they wouldn't have. Like, hey, what was that guy that rolled off?
Yeah, well, they even ask him. They're like, "What was that in the back?" And it's funny as you see Leo jump, you see the police lights in the back. So you're like, well, "How the fuck did they not see that?"
Yeah, the one that was crazy for me was how the movie ends.
I loved. It's so funny. Heather hated this so much. She said it went on for way too long and felt it ruined all the thrill of it. Even though I'm the complete opposite, I felt it kept the thrill going. I loved how it ended with them going up and down on the hill. It felt like a roller coaster, and really was like an up and down of their life. What's going to happen? It's on the straightaway. You don't know, like unless she's the one who stops it. She ends which is like a real good metaphor for like ending family trauma and the sins of the father, or in this case, the sins of the mother. She's on that straight road. If she would just stop it, she could end things and be happy, and she does.
Mm-hmm.
But then immediately in the prologue or the epilogue, she jumps back into being a activist. But in that moment, it's so beautiful because she's stopping, and then she doesn't even recognize who her father is in that moment because of like all the trauma she's experienced and just went through. And I don't know if I fully understand that scene where she doesn't understand her father, but that whole road scene is so beautiful, and I just love the way it's shot, where it's like on the bottom of the car going up and down with the road. I love it.
I'm hearing alarms go off from like down the street. I was going to mention the fact of like what happens with Sean Penn's character, because one, the white supremacists find out about that. Hey, he's got a black daughter.
Yeah, she was a real semen demon.
Yeah, like the stuff they were saying was like, oh my god.
Well, that gets into the one thing I was talking about when we were offline. There is Jim Downey. He has such a small part, but he plays the one racist guy, and he's so funny. His reaction when Sean Penn goes, "She reverse raped me. I believe she was a semen demon." Like the look on his face of just pure. What, like, he doesn't even know how to respond, and it's just like all in his face. And we've all been there. We've all heard people talk like that, not like that per se, but like we've all heard people say such crazy things that we don't know how to respond, and he does that perfectly. He nails it perfectly.
What's crazy is that he didn't piece together that these were the guys that tried to kill him. Like, first of all, you trying to join this society. You tell me you'd never seen that guy before. You didn't happen to notice that guy.
Wasn't that the guy who tried to bring him in?
I thought so. Because remember they tell him, oh, no. They bring that guy in, and then they have another guy that they call into the meeting to be like, we want you to go take him out.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the same guy. Even if not, though, I think he, at the very least, the way I guess I reasoned it is I think he was just like, I could lie my way out of this and still get into the society I really want to be a part of. And I think the way he dies is so beautiful too. When they take him into that office, they let him like feel a sense of happiness and just end it. But it also begs the question, why didn't they just do that in the first place?
Yeah. I seen him do the gas thing, and I was really waiting for the sniper shot or like the building just to get
I thought Jim
Downey.
Downey's the one who leads him in the room. I thought Jim Downey was going to be the one that shoots him. Yeah. Because I thought it was a real Godfather moment. Turns out it wasn't. But it was in its own way, but just done differently than I expected. The whole movie exceeded my expectations. Like, I'm not criticizing that. Like, that was great. I love the whole movie.
Just like the fact that they just scarred his face all up and was like,
yeah, he looks insane.
He took a shotgun to the face.
It's so funny. He looks insane. Him walking at the end is so funny. The way he walks through the whole movie is incredible.
I felt like that was the way he walked after they hooked up.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny whenever he meets Leo in the grocery store. Well, it happens first whenever
the meme.
Well, it happens first whenever she's in the car with him. She's like, "You like black girls? Yeah, you love me, don't you?" Or something like that. And then it cuts to like when they're in the grocery store. "You like black girls?" That's so funny.
The way he says it, I'm just like, oh boy. But like the memes that came out of it, where it's like your uncle talking at Thanksgiving, I'm like.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do got one more thing too, because I think it's just such an incredible scene. Is whenever Willow is handed over to the assassin dude, and he's like, "I don't kill kids." Yeah, and he still takes him over, but his morals are so high that he goes and kills all the other assassins. Oh yeah, I love that. Such a fun. You don't even see the shootout except for the first kill, but it's such a good scene.
Yeah, I like that where he was just like basically like, I should just leave you here and let them handle it. And then he's just like, nah, fuck that. Like,
you know what I think, and I think it's part of the reason I like the movie more than Eddington, because Eddington's very nihilistic and ends on such a bad note, like a dark note. Yeah. One battle after another takes you on a dark journey, and it's such a fun journey in itself, but it still has that hopeful ending. Where like, I hate hopeful stuff most times. Like, I hate feel good, but this does feel good. I think right where it's like, yeah, like. It's you feel good about the situation. You feel hopeful for what our future could actually be. Eddington's very much like, oh, our future's fucked, where this movie's like, our future could still be good.
Well, the thing is like, I like how they kind of like hinted like she's still like her mother in that she will fight for a cause, but she's not fighting it as extreme as her mother was because she's seen what it did to her.
Yeah, that's the only scene I honestly kind of don't care for about the movie, and I'm not a big voiceover person for one, so I don't really care for the letter. Like, I get it. It's nice to kind of have that closure of the character, but I felt the closure already when she left.
I thought it was nice that, like, she kind of, like, acknowledged her daughter.
Right, but then I hated right after that whenever Leo's playing on the phone. Like, that, I hated that part so much. Then, like I said, there's, like, 2 moments where I didn't laugh. That's, like, one of the other moments where I didn't laugh. I was like, I know it's supposed to be funny, but I was like, that's trying. I didn't like it.
It felt too real. It felt way too real, because I was like, oh, it just felt like... Because Leo's about the same age as my brothers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it felt like trying to explain to them.
Well, that's also like the first time he held a phone like that. So I get like he would be, but I feel like it was just unnecessary for the scene.
Yeah, because he's so behind because he was in hiding, so he has no idea how to work a touchscreen. Doesn't know what Wi-Fi. He's probably one of those dudes that are having the ISIS wives, like clearly the fake profile, but you scroll back 3 pages and that doesn't look like you at all. That's just some guy in Jamaica. Like what? What the hell?
I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. I'm gonna probably watch it like 2 more times this month. I think it's so good. Well, clearly we didn't talk about this at all, but like the influence it has, it's like influenced by so many movies I love, including very clearly Big Lebowski. So I love it. I think it's incredible. It holds it up there for me. It was one of the top comedies, even though it's not really fully a comedy. It's just that
it's got enough elements that I would say it's a comedy.
It's the same way it's like a comedy, the same way like Goodfellas is or Raging Bull is, where it's like the characters are so
funny.
it's naturally funny, but it's not supposed to be a comedy film, but it's so naturally funny.
Like it doesn't feel forced. Like when he's snapping on that dude, trying like give me the code, like just shut up and give me the code, because that is a frustration we all feel. Right. Like where it's like I don't have the time to get a pronoun correct. I want my coffee so I can go to work.
Right, and that's exactly.
I'm sorry if I messed that up, but please just give me the goddamn coffee. I apologize. Move on. Like
right, and this will maybe be a good way to end it. That's like the same thing with Eddington, where I think Eddington ends on such a more dark note for our future. It does get that like the interactions right. It gets the characters right, and it's naturally funny on its own too.
Yeah, and it feels like. And my thing is like, but you had like westerns like that, like old westerns like that. Like a newer example would be like New Country or
No Country for Old Men, which I love. I love that movie. That's a top 10 for me.
Ooh, I was mad about that movie. Any movie that I have to go online, be like, God damn it, what does this mean? Because the ending is just not an ending. It's Tommy Lee Jones sitting there.
Yeah, but you gotta remember.
By fire.
Yeah, but he is the old man. He's the old man in the title. He's the main character of the movie.
Yeah.
So like and he gets defeated by the end. He's defeated and he recognizes that defeat.
I just feel like him explaining it in a dream. You should have just said, "I can't handle this." No. Like, I would have preferred a monologue of him being like, "I can't handle this anymore."
I disagree.
Saying that. Versus just being like, my daddy came to me in a dream, and don't explain how the fuck you're feeling.
No, but he does explain how he's feeling. He's explaining that, I mean, through the whole movie, he's explaining he feels he's out of place in this world.
Yeah.
He feels like he's from a different time. And he reaches the end, and he feels his father, he gets the love from his father he's missing. He gets it from a dream. Yes, he's not getting it from his real father because his father's dead.
Almost like you finally get what I was saying, like kind of thing.
Yeah, he's getting the thing. Well, not even that. He's getting the thing that we all long for in the end is love, especially from our family, or especially from the people who raised us. And he it sounds like throughout the movie he had a great relationship with his father. He's feeling guilt. It's explained more in the book than in the movie. But he feels guilt over like what happened during World War II. So and his father was like the only one who like was able to share that pain with him. So he has such a deep connection with his father that by the time he dies, he's really missing that. He's really craving that. And it finally comes through this dream. And he feels so much relief at the end. And even though he doesn't know what to do, he did retire because he shouldn't have, but he did. He now feels at least a sense of relief from these dreams. And I think that whole thing is so beautiful. You watch the wife she's a great actress. I don't know who she is, but she does such a great job.
I think it's the woman from Weapons. If I'm right, it's the villain.
Oh, Aunt Glass. Listen.
Her.
We'll talk about this in the Patreon. I
haven't seen Weapons because I'm
really?
I'm a bitch.
Dude, there's moments that are good, but it falls apart a little bit at the end. And I've heard other people say similar things, and I think I have different takes on their thought, but yeah, we don't. If you didn't see it, we won't talk about it then.
Yeah. But
that's really funny. Really funny. It's the same one.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's her. But like, what I was saying was like I like how these westerns like one has a positive outlook for the future, where the other one has a very dark outlook, and you see that with like old westerns. Like some westerns, like the Sam Peckinpah westerns, always are like the meanest bad guys. Like I think there's a scene in like I think Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, where Billy the Kid is shooting the heads off of live chickens. It's a real scene. They actually shot the heads off of live chickens in the scene. But like it's so dark it's showing that's what the future is going to be. Right. It's like it's going to be more violence like this. Where you have like the John Wayne ones, which is more happy-go-lucky and like, yeah, maybe progress will be great.
I
After
struggle.
we kill these thousands of people.
I struggle with those ones the same way I struggle with the Clint Eastwood's ones. Like they're funny and they're like
example.
They're adorable, but they're like also a little too cheesy at times for me. That I sometimes get taken out of them, and I don't adore them the same way I adore like film noir. And that's I don't know why, because I didn't really grow up with either. If anything, I grew up probably more with the westerns, but I just don't. I don't care for them the same way I care for the neo noirs, and I think that's why I like a lot of the modern westerns, is because they kind of take on a noir vibe. They take on like a noir crime thrilling sense. Yeah, did you ever see Lone Star?
I have not. Is that the one with Val Kilmer?
I don't think Val Kilmer's. Matthew McConaughey's in it.
Okay, yeah, it's a different movie. Lone Star is the one where he plays like a.
Are you thinking Tombstone? Is that the one with Val Kilmer?
No, there's one with Val Kilmer where it's like he's a. I think it's Thunderheart, maybe.
I don't know if I know that one. I know he plays one where I think he plays Doc Holliday.
Well, there's one where it's a modern day where he's like works for the FBI, but he's sent out to like investigate a crime on Indian. Or like
actually, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer had a point where he went downhill, but there was like a solid run where he was really great. So
for sure. But
have you ever seen Ghost in the Darkness? That's like an underrated movie.
True story too.
Well, it's heavily edited, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like there was
Michael Douglas character did not exist.
Right. The trueness of the story is that there was two lions that were just out hunting people.
They didn't have manes. Did you know that they were like maneless?
Oh, it was
lions.
two lionesses. That's right. It was the females.
I thought they were males, but I thought they were too young to have the full mane.
No, because I think female lions.
They're in. I think the
are
Chicago
more aggressive.
Museum, I think.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I thought it was Chicago. I thought they got moved to the Chicago.
This is why I need a Jamie. I need a Jamie for my podcast that Google shit. Like, I need that guy. It's just me out here, and I spout off drunken facts, and I misquote people.
You know what might have been? It might have been they were like part of a traveling exhibit, and my grandparents seen them at the Chicago Museum.
Ooh. So, I was going to say, like, is that your, like, would you say that's your, like, history, like, to, like, your connected history, like your connection to history?
What do you mean, like
your grandparents got to see like something that was like, oh, that's a world event or something that was kind of a big deal?
No, I just like history. Like anytime a traveling exhibit comes through Carnegie, I love going to it. Or it's not Carnegie anymore, the Science Center, whatever, whoever donated to it and renamed it.
Yeah, like how I was trying to say it was, like, do you ever have like your family is connected to like an historical event? Like, imagine, like, meeting somebody like, oh, yeah, my dad, like, worked at 9/11 or, like, worked at the World Trade Center.
Yeah, he worked for 9/11.
Yeah, my dad did 9/11.
My dad worked for Bush.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I can't think of anything like our family would be
I think it was my dad's grandfather. I think it was my dad's grandpap or my dad's dad. I think it was my dad's grandpap. He met Jesse James's brother, Frank, because at the time when Frank got out of jail, he just toured the country, be like, meet the famous outlaw Frank James, Jesse James's brother, and made money off of that.
I love that the mafia guys do that now. They go on like podcast tours and all that. It's
right?
So funny.
No, I want the guys who actually whack people. Like, give me the guy like the Iceman. Did you ever see the Iceman ones?
Yeah, I've seen one of them. I think.
Yeah,
they're all nuts. That lifestyle would have been crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not built for that lifestyle.
That's fair. I couldn't, because it's like as soon as the cops start pressuring, I'm like, hey man, listen, I guess we should probably tell. I wanted to go to jail, but nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we should probably wrap it up for this part. And
yeah, let's move to Patreon. Let's move to Patreon.
Patreon. We can say what we want. We can go more unhinged. It's still on YouTube, but it's still unhinged. Like, I'm like, hey, I like go wild on there, because I'm like, give the people something, like, you know, they're only paying $250 an episode or $250 a month.
That's not too bad.
Let's give them the unhinged that they want. But yeah, Seth, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at?
You guys can find me at SethQueen_comedy on Instagram and TikTok. I don't post on TikTok yet, but soon you'll start seeing videos. You can watch me dump wine all over my face. It's a lot of fun. I got 2 shows coming up in part 2 competitions, January 23rd and January 24th. Check me out online to figure out when and get tickets.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Also, January 24th, buy tickets for my comedy show, Wanted, Outlaws of Comedy, down at Mickey's Place in Kennedy.
Go see one of us. We're both really funny. I promise.
So I'll wrap it up here. Come catch us on the Patreon.
Boom. It's nice to be on Big Hoss's Tailgate again.